Eddie Adams quit his 9 to 5 to bet everything on music. And since then, he's played at the Armory, headlined, and sold out his own night at the Green Room while raising money for Minneapolis charity. He's released his own original music, crossed 100,000 streams on all platforms, landed the Breakaway lineup, and played at some of Chicago's best clubs. And now he's started his own blog series.
Yes, that is awesome.
And the thing that gets me is he still folds towels at the gym to make it all work. He makes hundreds of these little bracelets by hand for any individual who shows up to his shows. What does Eddie Adams understand that people with millions of followers don't? I think that he is doing one thing no one is willing to do anymore. But why don't we find out? Eddie, Adam, welcome to the pod.
Thank you so much. What an intro. Wow, I'm just cheesing over here during the entire intro.
It's a good time.
I'm honored to be here. It's a pleasure.
Yes, these bracelets though are really cool. Like this so stands out to me. Like I want one. There's a little disco ball beat on it. This is really cool.
Yeah, it was something that I had thought of when I first put on one of my first shows, and it just for me allows my fans and people who come to these shows to take that night that they experienced and have something to remember it by. And hopefully collect as many of them as they can on the way.
Oh yeah, hang them up on their wall.
There's more coming at the Breakaway show, so if you're at Breakaway, come early and you'll get a bracelet.
Yeah, when is Breakaway?
Breakaway is the end of June, so we're coming up on 2 weekends. I'll press play, honestly, this time in 2 weeks. So I've been spending a lot of time trying to finish up music and prepare a set for that, because honestly, this will probably be the biggest accomplishment for me thus far in my short little career. So
wow.
I've played Breakaway for the last 2 years, but at the silent disco stage.
Okay.
And although that is very cool and is still a part of the festival, to me, to see your name on the flyer next to so many artists that I've always looked up to and been to shows and seen them play, it's like, dang, like that's me up there. I get email promotion and I'll have friends send me the link, and it's like seeing your name on there, I still can't get over. So it's a huge personal accomplishment for me, and to have been there for years and seen other DJs play these slots that I've dreamed of playing, it's really cool. It's full circle, and it's in my hometown. It's in Minneapolis, so to have my friends and family there is going to be really special for me.
Heck yeah. Yes, it will. It really will. Okay, so you're here now, and you're finally full-time into the music, but take me back to your 9 to 5 in Minneapolis. Like, what was your day-to-day life looking like, and where was that desire sitting within you? Like, what was your internal dialogue with all that?
Yeah, I don't want to go back to that time. Next question. No, honestly, for me, I don't regret the time I spent working in my 9 to 5. It kind of showed me what I want and desire in a career and for the rest of my life. For a while, I just went with the flow and decided to do what was right. And follow my peers, follow what my family wanted me to do. And I think a lot of people go through life and don't question that process and just kind of go with the flow. And then before you know it, you've spent 10 years going with the flow and kind of forget about who you are and what you've always wanted to do. And so I'm glad I don't want to say caught it when I did, but kind of woke up to it when I did and spent a lot of time to think about what it is that I wanted to do. And that was music. And when I finally made the leap of faith where I'm like, I didn't find fulfillment in my job. I wasn't connected with the work I was doing. I didn't see the purpose in it. And it really killed me. I was in business valuation. So essentially we were valuing companies for their worth, for tax purposes, for sale. And it is important work. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't for me. And it just didn't bring out the qualities that I see in myself and value. And I just felt dormant and just couldn't express myself. And so the decision weighed on me for a long time. And I vividly remember I was living at home at the time, and I was thinking about this for weeks, but I was talking to my mom in my kitchen. My dad was in the living room, or in his room, just a door down. And I was like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. I'm going to quit my job, basically telling her about these urges I've had. And I heard the TV in my dad's room shut off. And he was like, what are you guys talking about in there? And I'm like, crap, I'm gonna have to tell my dad. And my dad has been in finance his whole life. He just wants what's best for me, but has played a big influence in me pursuing finance. And so he shut off the TV. He's like, what are you guys talking about? And I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna have to tell my dad about this. And I'm just like, Dad, I'll tell you about it tomorrow. Woke up the next day and I could tell he was shocked about it, but the next thing he said was, I need a business plan put together of like what your year is going to look like. I want a presentation. I want you to come to me and your mom and kind of outline what you see in this and how you're going to make money and how you're going to do it. And at first I was like, what? Like, what do you mean? Why do I have to do this? But looking back on it now, I'm like, he was just looking out for me. And to be honest, they didn't really understand what I was doing, which is totally fair. I think a lot of people still don't understand, especially where I grew up and a lot of what my friends are doing now in similar groups. It's like, it all makes sense. You go and get a 9-to-5, you work for the rest of your life. That makes sense. What I was doing just didn't sit right with a lot of people, especially my parents. They're very supportive now. My biggest supporters. But yeah, so I made a PowerPoint presentation and kind of, I went into my parents' room and basically gave them a breakdown of what I was going to do for the next year and how I was going to make it work and how it makes sense financially, because that was a big thing for them too. And yeah, I'll never forget that that conversation and that experience. It really did put into perspective how big the decision it was making, and just the fact that I was really going to commit to this and like lay out this plan that I was going to execute on. It was really cool.
No doubt. I can't imagine like hearing those footsteps coming down the hall, like, he's coming. Like,
it's terrifying.
Fuck. Like, I think a lot of time they just don't understand, you know, and like that presentation or whatever that you worked through, the logistics side of it helps. If there's ever anyone in your life who's questioning your path, like if you can lay that out for them, I think you can help yourself and them feel a lot better.
It was all out of love. And you know, I don't blame them for that at all. They just want what's best for me. They want me to be safe. They want me to live a stable life, and I totally get that. And I think when I've played shows in Minneapolis, for example, they were at the show I played at the Armory, and to have them see me on a stage like that,
oh my gosh, I bet there were
that
so
many
proud.
people there. It's like, that's when it kind of clicks from like, oh, okay, he's doing well. You know, you can't really tell based on a lot of other factors. I'll call my parents every week, and it's hard for them to know what success looks like on my end. But for them to see me at big shows and to come way past their bedtime to stay up and watch me play, for them to be able to see it goes a long way. So,
wow. Okay, so what was that moment like for you when you actually realized, like, I can't do this anymore? Like, what was that wake up thought? Where were you? Were you in your bed?
It was a thought that I had for a long time, honestly. I wouldn't say it was just one moment. And honestly, when I was about to graduate from college, I had an urge to do something different. I've always wanted to be entrepreneurial, and that really started my senior year of college. I had extra space to pick up a minor, so I picked up an entrepreneurship minor at the University of Minnesota, and that really just woke me up to the opportunity of being an entrepreneur in whatever regard that was going to be. I didn't know at the time, but to have all the responsibility, to be your own boss, to create your own schedule, have your own flexibility, have no flexibility, and just going like, you know, nonstop. To me, that was what I wanted to do. I want to be in control of my destiny. And in corporate, it's a little harder because of the hierarchical structure.
Oh my gosh. And the bureaucracy is wild,
it's like no matter how hard you work, you're capped out at a certain limit. And so for me, I wanted all that pressure and you know, just expectation put on myself, which is a blessing and a curse, because you know, you're your own boss at the end of the day, and you're in charge of hitting your own deadlines. And it's a lot easier when you have someone else telling you that. You kind of have to put on a different hat and tell yourself, like, you have to hit these deadlines or else. It's a weird dialogue in your head, but I've been able to grasp it a little better and understand it a little more. But essentially, I just wanted to be in control of my own destiny and let my hard work and you know, all the things that I've built over the last 3 or 4 years kind of speak for themselves, and not let anyone else get in the way of that.
Wow, that's sick. So then what did the next couple of months look like for you? I guess after you quit.
Yeah, I remember putting in my 2 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
And just telling family and friends about it, which was hard. I was honestly embarrassed probably for the first like 6 months after I quit my job. I was embarrassed to admit what I had done, even though deep down inside, like, I was excited. I knew it was the right thing for me at the time. I was just a little shy and embarrassed to talk about it because, like I said, all my friends at the time were doing this and I was doing something different. And so it was a transition. And it's kind of just like, okay, what's next? I have this type of time on my hands to do something new. And I ended up working at a studio in Northeast Minneapolis for a while. Part-time. I feel like I've worked just a bunch of different part-time jobs since then. But my mindset is kind of, what can I do to, work on the side and develop my music career, my artist brand, while also, spending time working on music and directly working on the Eddie Adams project. So it's been cool. And that's kind of the trajectory I want to take for the next 2 or 3 years, is staying involved in the music industry and then also growing what I'm building with Eddie Adams.
Yeah. I think that feeling of being embarrassed though, and like admitting what you've done, I relate to that so heavy. Like, for me to tell like my aunts and my uncles and whoever else in the world, anyone who's in the professional world, like me admitting that I just dropped out of college was so hard to say out loud, and to talk about what I wanted to do was so hard. So how do you recommend anyone navigating that kind of situation gets through it?
Man. That's a good question. It really is just important to trust your why and not let that falter based on what other people are saying, based on what other people may judge you for, because at the end of the day, the why is what's going to push you through your highs and your lows. And if you can fall back onto, even just like taking some time to journal about what is it that is making me want to do this? Like, what are the core fundamental pieces that are making me want to make a decision this big?
Yeah.
If you can visually see that, and let's say your aunts and uncles are, what are you doing? Well, this is terrible. What's going on? If you can fall back onto, well, this is, this is my passion. This is what moves me. This is what I see doing for the rest of my life. All these outside noises aren't going to matter, because what you're doing what you love.
You're grounded in yourself.
And that's the most important part.
Yeah.
And it is hard. It's especially hard when people that you love and trust and look up to question it. But then again, I think you just have to realize that majority of it is out of love and just wanting you to be in the best place for yourself. And so it's important for you to reassure whoever it is that I'm making this decision because it is the best decision for me. And this is what I want to do. And just showing them that it's coming from a place of love on your end as well. So that's really interesting. And knowing like everyone's perception on the world, like all of these aunts and uncles and whoever's opinions might be weighing on you in whatever space you're in. Like you said, they come out of love, number one. They just want what's best for you. But number two, they just don't understand. Like, they don't understand that world, and they're not connected in that world. So if you can find a friend, if you can find someone on an Instagram and DM them, meet them for coffee, just someone who's doing it or done it, you can feel so much better. Because I know that I was alone, and I was not speaking to people about what it was, and it was all just kind of in my head, and then me watching people online making it happen, and not having that immediate tangible connection to someone with skin and blood sitting next to me. I think that would have helped me feel a lot more grounded too. Totally. In it. That's why it's cool what I think you're doing with your meetups. It's like that gives you the opportunity to meet other people who have taken the risk, and then you see them and you're like, oh, maybe I'm not that crazy. Maybe you have the same.
I'm not crazy.
And that's so refreshing to feel, and why I enjoy working with the other creatives, other artists. It really does just give you a breath of fresh air. Especially, I've spent my whole life working with people who are in corporate. Some of my best friends are in corporate now, and I have nothing against it. But being with other creatives and people who have taken a risk, regardless of what capacity that looks like, it's so refreshing to be like, oh, you've experienced the same things as me. Like, you've doubted yourself in this way. You've done all these things that I've experienced at one point in your life, and you're like, okay, I'm not alone. That feels good.
Yeah, it's so important. It's so important. It's an interesting dynamic too, like transitioning from, I don't know, having friends that are doing the 9 to 5 or the corporate, And like a lot of my friends were in that world too. That's where they're headed towards. And I had so much grief, like not wanting to spend time with them, knowing that it was making me question everything that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of grief around that in my journey. So I was wondering if you've experienced that in any way, or like you still find a way to obviously connect with your friends.
Yeah, I have very, very supportive friends that show up for me a lot. And so something I always try to do is just show up for them in whatever capacity I can, which looks a lot different because for me, it's like they can come support my shows. They can like and comment on my Instagrams, do whatever. Like those things, those little things allow them to support me. But I really try to place an emphasis on what can I do to share the love and support them, because I know how it feels to be in their position, and the majority of these people want to do something different. They want to take the next step. They want to be creative. And so like if I can try to lead by example and just show that it can work and you can be happy. And to me, that's such a big thing, especially for my brothers. I want to show people that it is possible and that you can live out your dreams. And it's not that scary once you finally commit to it and give it your all. It's like, if I can do that for my friends, my family, people, strangers on the internet, I find so much fulfillment in doing that. And I think kind of answers your question in that capacity of just being able to show them that there are other alternatives if they want to. You know, it's not needed, but it's out there.
On the other side of going all in, like you said, it's kind of like there's a shift when you decide to like, this is it. This is finally what I'm doing. I finally get to put all of my love and energy and passion into this. Did you feel finally like free, like this thing inside of you was hiding, or is there any feelings around that you could describe?
That's a good question. I did feel a lot of weight off my shoulders, but I think regardless of what you're doing in life, there's always going to be difficult things about that thing, about that pursuit. And so I think it's important to be aware that I'm going to go all out and pursue my dreams and do these crazy things. I think a lot of people expect there to not be any
rocky roads?
like rocky roads or doubt. But I'm just such a believer that you're going to experience negative, you're going to experience hardship in regardless of what you're doing. And so being able to have the perspective like, I'm all in on my dreams right now. I'm doing it, but I know there's going to be stuff that I don't like to do. I don't want to have to post on social media every day. Like that isn't something that I find passion in, but it's still something you have to do. And just understanding that regardless of what route you take, if you go all in on your dreams, there's still going to be stuff that you don't want to do every single day. And being able to just understand that that's a part of the process. And at the end of the day, you're doing what you love, and there are going to be certain things that you don't always want to do. Yeah.
Speaking of going all in, I think you said about a year ago you rebranded.
I did.
And you used to go by the name of Z, and now you go by Eddie Adams.
Yes.
So tell us about what that was like, where that decision came from, and what it's brought for you.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know that, which is funny because it's crazy. It's only been a year.
Yeah.
It feels like way longer for me, but it was that pivotal turning point for me to finally take this serious and treat it like a full-time career.
Yeah.
And I guess the technical side of it all, Z is not search engine friendly.
Yeah.
And
True
by any means whatsoever.
Definitely couldn't get that domain name.
No, you type in Z in Google and I'm probably the 8th billionth search you can find. So that was the main thing for sure. I really didn't feel like I had a brand identity under Z. And it didn't feel right. And I was still just kind of passively trying to make things work, figure out what steps I wanted to take. And once I finally narrowed in on the Eddie brand and what I wanted that to embody and what I wanted to really dive into, once I'd made this decision, I've had a clear focus for sure. I'm able to determine like what the future of Eddie Adams looks like and the artistic project behind it all. And so, like I said, that to me was the turning point where I started throwing my own events. I've started releasing music, and it just has all made sense and come together very well.
It's really special when the simplest thing as a name change, or like if you're ever starting a business and you get your logos and your branding all set up, it's such an exciting time. I mean, I think actually you mentioned it wasn't necessarily exciting. You weren't like necessarily all in and gung-ho about it at first, right?
Yeah, I was. And I guess I just started to see it more as a career, and it's hard because DJing especially isn't the most lucrative
Yeah.
career path you can go
No,
down,
yeah.
at least when you're starting. And so I just decided, like, I made the conscious decision, like, I want to do this, and I'm going to figure out any way
Yeah.
to make this work that I possibly can. And so I've made a lot of decisions, life decisions, non-life decisions, to put everything aside and just focus on this.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that just like when people who start a business, for example, see their brand and their names and all like laid out on a paper or whatever, it's such a like, holy shit, this is real. It's like when you take the time to think about your brand and lay it out there, it's like, oh, it flips a switch in you, honestly. And so if you want to ramp it, like if you want to have something that really turns it into gear for you, I'd consider, what is your brand? Like really consider the narrative behind what you're doing, how you want to show up. Like let's get the visuals locked in even. Like
Totally.
your Instagram is super crazy cool.
Thank you.
You have a really neat style. I'm curious, what inspires you and what has gone into building your brand? What's your strategy behind your brand?
Yeah, I really, especially this year, have wanted to place an emphasis on being an artist in all facets of artistry, not necessarily just the music.
Yeah.
You know, my brand aesthetic,
Yeah.
how I dress, like how my flyers look, how what my events are going to look like when you're there. All that stuff to me is so important and adds to the overall view of like what Eddie Adams presents.
Yeah.
And so I do pay a lot of attention to the details and really want to accentuate the fact that like my brand in its whole is very artistic, and just focusing on like the pictures, for example. I spend a lot of time sorting through pictures and creating different collages.
Are you the one who edits your pictures? Or I know you hire a lot of photographers.
Yes, I work with a lot of very, very cool photographers that I adore. I don't edit them personally, like color grade. I guess I edit the collages and kind of see the vision behind that, and like the directive of how I want my Instagram to look,
You're
which
the
is
creative
silly.
director of your brand.
Right.
It's not silly.
Okay. Sometimes I think it's silly that like I'm taking so much time to focus on little elements.
Yeah.
And I guess the big picture of it, you know, is silly, but over time, those small decisions that you're making add up to, for example, like you looking at my Instagram, or promoters checking out because like nowadays Instagram is kind of your business card for creatives. It's your website, yeah. And promoters, especially for music, that's the first thing they'll see, your Instagram or your Spotify.
Your vibe and your taste.
Yeah, and if it looks bad, it's like all of a sudden, boom, they could pass on you. And so I do try to spend an adequate amount of time making sure it looks right, making sure that the pictures fit my brand and what I'm trying to, you know, show to people, especially for a lot of my shows. Like I want the pictures to be of the crowd. I want the pictures to be of people dancing, having fun. I want the pictures to be me having fun, because I'm doing what I love, and I want people to see that and like feel that when they look at my pictures or videos or whatever. I just want them to just see that, oh, like I can tell this dude is having fun, and I want to go experience that, because the energy that I want to bring at my shows, I want it to be contagious. I want you to feel like you're a part of the party, that it's a bigger experience than just a bunch of people there going to see some DJ up on a pedestal. You know, I wanted to feel together and have there just be continuous energy flowing from me to the crowd and back, and just a place that people want to come dance and be free.
There is a really important question. Actually, I just filmed a video about this for my agency, but like there's 5 questions that you should ask yourself when you're building a brand. If you want to build, quote unquote, a cult-like following, or like to really get people to pay attention to you, the number 1 question you should ask is like, what is the belief or feeling I want my audience to walk away with? And like you just named that, it's fun. Like I want to come here and enjoy myself and have joy and the rhythm and the flow and whatever. Number 2 is, what is the visual or the motif behind that? So like, what are the details in your visuals that you feel like, obviously you said pictures of people smiling, me having fun. Do you have anything behind, like, is there a symbol for you or a color or anything like that?
Not necessarily, no. I really do try to place an emphasis on pictures
Yeah.
equally as much as the videos of
Yeah.
my shows. And yeah, just wanting to show people that I really want to give them an experience of what an Eddie Adams show looks like without them necessarily being there. And so that when they do come, they're like, oh, this makes sense why the videos are high energy. This makes sense why like people are having fun.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, for someone who wants to pursue music or grow their brand, you kind of answered it already, but what do you think is the most productive thing for someone to really generate that recognition and that brand for themselves?
I think musically, it's finding someone that you can trust and know that their opinion isn't subjective to a relationship you might have with them, and consistently send them music, send them ideas, and know that their feedback will be for your best interest, not to just, please you or give you the answers you want to hear.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like I'll send music to friends or people that don't understand music as much, and they're going to be like, this is so good.
Yeah.
Like, this is awesome. What do you mean? Like, you got to put this out.
Yeah.
And if you can find people who will give you honest, critical feedback that's going to help you grow, it goes such a long way, because you're going to suck in the beginning. You're not going to be good.
Sorry.
And the more you realize that, and the more you're able to handle critical, not positive feedback, just feedback in general, and take it, learn from it, and move on and be better the next time you make a song, the next time you make a flyer, the next time you post a vlog, whatever it is that you're doing, just consistently growing in that regard, and not just accepting all the love and attention you're getting from other people, especially early on, because when you start something new, it's like it's this cool shiny thing that you're excited about and you're happy, but there's always things that you can work on. I'm a big believer in that. There's always new stuff to learn, different ways to grow, and if you're able to find someone to push you in that direction, to always challenge yourself to see what you could have done differently, to see that yes, it was a good show, but there are different things you could have. There's a different transition you could have made there. You could have been better in this regard. You could have had a better intro. Whatever it is, having someone to call you out on that, out of love and respect for what you're doing, is so important. Yeah, important to celebrate too what you did. Like definitely take a second and celebrate, but then okay, strategically, let's improve. I could do a better job of that for sure. Yeah, I struggle with that a lot. Yeah, me too. I think most people do. Yeah, but like you said, it's been a year since you've kind of done this rebrand for yourself, and it's like, let's celebrate that. Let's take this milestone as a second to look back and see how far I've come. And if you realize, and if you write it in a journal and just be like, holy shit, what have I suddenly accomplished? It's like you realize that you're standing in what you used to dream of, and it empowers you to go so much further and deeper into your craft. On the point with finding someone to give you strategic feedback, you just don't realize your friends, they just don't have the eye, they don't have the ear for those details. Lindsay has been working on some more video stuff, and she's been like, there's so much that I had no clue and I never would have noticed until you kind of brought me into this, and I was deep in the craft. So truly finding those buddies is everything. And sometimes it's well, yeah, it takes time for them to give you feedback and whatever, but if you can find a mutual exchange, it's I can help you, you can help me. Right. It's okay, handshake, let's do this. Yeah, and the people that are a little further down the line, I think will understand that they were once there too. Yeah. And they're more willing to give you feedback. Sure, there are bad apples are no, I'm too good for you. Yeah. I've spent so much time, blah, 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 getting to where I am now. And it's put your ego aside and understand that we all started somewhere, and I think that pays in ways that are beyond our control, that someone then will hopefully pay forward to you one day down the line. Yeah, exactly. So what is your vision for the future? Where do you want to be? What are your big goals? Lay it on the ground for us, and then what is your theory behind how you're going to get there? Well, my big goals kind of go back to my ethos of why I started the project, which is bringing people together centered around music that I love. And so I want to continue growing my event series and growing own events under the Eddie Adams name and project. That's truly what I find the most fulfillment in. being able to, I just am so fascinated by the butterfly effect of, let's say I throw an event,
Yeah.
having other photographers there, other videographers there that get to share their work that impacts hundreds of people, bringing on other DJs in the lineup that get to play their music and like share that to their fan bases. There's just so much that goes on behind just playing a show and like setting up an event. Like it's so deep to me, and that's what fascinates me the most. And so continuing to push the boundaries of what an Eddie Adams show is going to look like, you know, more immersive, hopefully different venues, bigger crowds, like that to me is so fascinating. And how can I make the fan experience even more elevated? Like the bracelets is one idea, but you know, how can I push that further is something I think about a lot, and I try to strategize with my own team. Definitely more events to come, a handful in Minneapolis the next month, one in Chicago in August. So there's a lot of cool things in the works with that. Music for sure is the biggest thing for me that I have been focusing on and want to continue to focus on, because I'm a firm believer that music is the answer. Music is what will separate you from anyone else and allows you to express yourself in the most genuine, authentic way. And so I'm really trying to hone in on, what do I want the Eddie Adams sound to be? What do I want people to feel when they're listening to my music? It's hard. I mean, like I had no musical background growing up. I took a guitar class like my senior year of high school, but that was it.
Right.
And so to be able to tap into creative energy, and I think people think it's a little wishy-washy, but I've been really trying to focus in on, you know, what in life is making you creative, like what makes someone creative. And it's really just tapping into the normalcies of life and being able to be aware of, you know, things that catch your attention, things that captivate you in music. It's like being able to channel all these different inputs that you're getting, that life throws at you, and combining it into your own little unique blend. So events, music, there's a lot of good things in the pipeline right now.
I love that. You told us in the car that your brother has been sending you a lot more indie music.
Yes.
And I think what you just said is really cool. Like everything that you create as a creator, it's just this wonderful, beautiful, and unique fuse of all these inputs that you get, and there's simply no one else who can recreate what you can do.
No, that's so cool.
And it might be like a crowded space and where you are, but your unique perspective, like if you push that forward, and like you say, when you bring the other artists, the photographers, the producers into your event, like it is something that it's just in the air, and you can just feel it when you're at the events. That it's just like goosebumps. Like I have goosebumps talking about it. Like all of these people who share something, and you bring them in for one night, and they share that feeling and the memories that come from it. It's like that is community, and that is healing. And when you say that like music is everything, I firmly believe that music is the thing that can change the world. Like music,
it's the universal language.
It's the universal language. It's the thing that people pass along easiest. I never told you this, but I want to be a musician. Like that is wholeheartedly, like I want to be on stages. I want to go on tours with music, with a ukulele in my voice, like something like that, bringing people together, like Bob Marley vibes, healing the planet. And I didn't really realize that because, well, I've always wanted to make a difference, and like I've always wanted to help people understand their goals and like why society is this way and the pain and how to deal with that. And I realized that there's no other way to have massive impact like that than music. Like what Bob Marley did to bring people together is the thing people hum in their cars.
Totally.
It's the thing that travels the furthest without you actually being there. So I think that music is a really cool space, and it has so much evolution. It's evolved so much, but there's so many spaces that can still evolve too.
You think back to your best memories in life, and in some way, shape, or form, it's surrounded around music. And it's like nights at the cabin, you know, you're listening to certain music, or, you know, you're at a music festival, like even that, obvious. Like it's just, there's so many critical things that happen in your life that are surrounded by music. And by throwing events, it's like you're combining the action of what you're doing with, you know, surrounding with music. That was said very poorly, but yeah, it's just like, it's so cool to think about looking back in your life, and whether you realize it or not, music was playing a part in that, and how that shaped the overall experience of what you were doing at the time. It's just like, it's mind blowing to me.
It's built into neuroscience too. Like,
Yeah.
like music brings out emotions and like tells stories, and we can feel those, and that's all processed in your amygdala, and that is where memories are created.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like it's all kind of tied in together. It's the same thing with smell. Like, why when I smell this does this memory come to me so easily? Like, yeah, there's something magical about it, but there's also like there's the neuroscience behind it too.
It makes sense, but it also doesn't make
Yeah.
sense, and that's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah, like I'm okay with that being mystical. Honestly.
Totally, me too.
Speaking about how music has evolved and all that, for the people who don't know, we're in Chicago, and I'm curious, tell us a little bit more about the history of house and what it means to be an artist here in Chicago.
Yeah, I think majority of people, and I don't want to, overgeneralize, but a lot of people assume that house was made, 10 years ago by white frat DJs. John Summit is the pioneer of house music. It's like, it goes so much deeper than that. And it started from queer and Black communities here in Chicago, which is so cool. And it was a sense of being free, escaping what was going on during that time, and just going to these clubs, going to these underground venues, and dancing to traditional house music like that. I can't imagine what those clubs are like, the energy in rooms like that.
Yeah.
But it originated from there and slowly built off into subgenres like techno in Detroit, or different genres that made it all the way to Europe. But it's cool to be in the birthplace of a genre that has impacted the world so heavily. And I do try to look back on, I try to imagine like what these parties were like, read into them. There's so many documentaries on the history of house music in Chicago, and it's like, what was going on in these parties that I can try to translate into my own events. A big thing of that, they didn't have cell phones, they weren't recording DJs all the time. The DJs were tucked away like in the corners of these rooms, so they weren't even the focus of the room. The focus was the dance floor. And it's hard nowadays, because for me, I want to try to embody that. I want to try to bring that into my events. But at the same time, I put on the event promoter hat, and it's like, you got to be the face of your brand. You got to get people to take videos of your shows, because those are videos that could go viral. Those are videos that could help grow your brand. So it's like being able to delineate between, I want to create authentic parties that people want to go to, that they can feel free at, that they can dance at. They don't have to worry about what other people are thinking. While at the same time, how do I capture that and market it in a way that stays true to what I want? It's a really interesting but difficult thing that I'm trying to grasp, and hopefully I can, regardless of like how far I grow or where I take this project, I just want to keep true that essence of being grounded in these events and surrounding cool people with other cool people around great dance music. And that's my ethos, and I'm just trying to keep that at its core regardless of where I go or how much I grow. So
speaking of being like the face of kind of what you're doing, you're like, the DJ stand is up front and center, like all these pictures, whatever. Have you struggled to feel seen, or like have you struggled to be the face of what you're doing?
Yes, I do all the time.
Walk me through that.
I really try to separate Eddie Adams and Zach Adams, because a lot of the times I'll put too much emphasis on Eddie Adams, and I'll have an off day. I'll go in the studio and nothing will come out of it. And all of a sudden now it's affecting Zach Adams and like who I am as a person and who I bring just as, a normal guy in their 20s. And it's hard because like when things are really high, when I play a really cool show or things are really low, I'm struggling. I can't see, the big picture as to what I'm doing. It really does affect Zach. And so I'm trying to understand that, regardless of what happens, if I go play the biggest festival stage in the world, if I can't produce a song for 5 months, I'm still Zach, and I'm still, a human being that has a love for music, and just wants to be like everyone else at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so I think it is really important, if you are growing an artist project or just have a separate identity, to be able to shut that door at the end of the day and go back into your normal life of who you are as a person, and do things outside of music that have made you who you are. It's really hard for me. That's another thing that is a struggle, but I'm trying to work on.
And realizing that it's not your worth. Like,
totally,
you deserve to rest tonight. Like, despite how that performance went.
Never get too high or too low. Just staying stable and understanding that I'm doing this because I love it. And at the end of the day, my family's gonna love me. My friends are gonna love me for Zach, not for anything Eddie has done.
So you've faced insecurity throughout this entire process. Probably more heavily in the beginning, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, totally. It's hard because, you know, the more success you do get, the more you'll start to understand, the more people are like, oh, like, maybe I should see what Zach's doing. Maybe I should like support him on Instagram. Like, I have people follow me on Instagram from college that knew I made the transition like years ago that I was going to do this, and now they're like, catching on, which I don't like. That's fine. Nothing against it. I'm like, welcome. It's good to see you again. You know. But I just want people to know that like I'm happy. I'm doing this because I love it, and join the journey. It's fun. It's fun over here.
Man, I totally agree. Dealing with that insecurity, though, I think like it's a lot easier to navigate that insecurity with the brand you're trying to build. Like, if you're trying to build something that like feels super far off and distant or up on a pedestal, you as the person behind that, it's not sustainable for your well-being. Like, it's so much easier to jump in and to have fun and just be yourself, and like that insecurity almost falls away once you're in it and you're present in your brand, and that's everything you're building. So I think once again, it goes back to like, this is almost a strategy for you to stay sane, to just be so authentic in who you are and be that inspiration for someone else to be who they are too. And it just brings together, like, once again, the most magical space and connection.
That was like perfectly well said. And I think it's easy to tell when people aren't going that direction, when they're trying to be someone that they're not. And it doesn't sit well with people who are in tune, or at least trying to be in tune with who they are.
Exactly.
Like you said that perfectly, because like I said, I'm the same person I am, Eddie or Zach. I'm just trying to show these different personality traits in me, my ambitions, what I love, in a different side. And it is easy for me, and it's like, it's fun for me to do, because it's just me being me at my fullest extent, you know, and to be able to express myself in that direction has been, it's been freeing. It's been very cool to tap into this side of myself that has been not tainted, but like tucked away from my reality, being in corporate and doing, you know, finance and not tapping into that creative energy that everyone has. I truly believe that. Everyone has it. Me too. You just have to
wholeheartedly
take the time to dive into it and understand, you know, how you can make it unique to yourself.
You need to sit and be in spaces and surround yourself with people who have also tapped into that, and they literally will bring it out in you just by being around them, simply. And if you're constantly in a corporate office every day, you go home, you go to the gym, and that's your life, like, where's that spark gonna go? Like, that spark is never going to be ignited until you're in that space again.
That's why it's cool working with other creatives too, because they might present a new idea to you, or you might create a new collaboration that would have never existed without that person. And to me, that concept is just crazy. Like, I love being in the studio with someone, and whether it's a vocalist or another DJ, like bringing your two ideas to the table to create something that never existed before, and that would never exist if you two didn't, you know, meet up. Like us right now, it's like this podcast would never existed without just us meeting up. So that concept too, combining, you know, different creative strategies, meeting with other artists, meeting with other, you know, like-minded people, can elevate your brand in so many different directions that you would have never ever anticipated.
It was really cool, because when I called to talk to Eddie about us coming to Chicago and doing a podcast, I was like, hey, do you know any like affordable ways that we could stay in the city? And Eddie offered, you can just stay at my place, like at my apartment. Like, I'll check with my roommates. It's cool. Eddie gets it. Eddie understands that, like, it is hard out here as a creative. And when you get into rooms with people who understand that struggle and the financial struggles of where we are, it's just it's empowering once again. But I want to walk into, like, for someone who wants to navigate this, and like when you laid this out logistically, you're working a lifetime right now
Yes.
to make it work, to make rent. And it's so interesting to be in a space where, like, yeah, I headline the green room and I am on the breakaway lineup, but also I'm folding towels at
It's
Lifetime.
so grounding, yeah.
So it's like, okay, that keeps you super mad humble and
Yes,
character
it
building.
does.
But like, what is it like for someone who wants to chase it? Like, I don't think people realize that, yo, every day is a struggle to feel like I'm okay financially. Walk me through what that's been like.
That's another thing I'm still really trying to work on and come to appreciate, because like I've been saying, is like you can have this huge accomplishment go on in the Eddie Adams side of thing, and then the next day I'm cleaning up towels and like toilets in
Yeah.
Lifetime. And so it's like, how can I level that out? I definitely try to stay very humble and just keep an open perspective on all things in life. But yeah, it's I never anticipated I'd be, you know, I was working a corporate job. I was getting paid well. Everything was going well. And then, you know, a year later, I'm at Lifetime, like folding towels. I'm like, shit, like this is quite the career change I've made here. But
yeah, for real.
at the same time, I'm like, you're really doing this now.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for me to be transparent about it, because
it
all
is.
you see on social media nowadays are the highlights. And man, like I work my ass off. I really do.
Yeah.
To try to make things work. And honestly, every month that goes by, I'm like, okay, I made it another month. I can afford rent this month. I can afford my food. And now I get to
keep doing
take
this.
a deep breath and go another month of pursuing my passion. Like that is such a reminder for me to be like, it's okay. It's going to be okay. You're making it work. And you get to do this for another month. But sometimes there really is no easy way around it. You have to work jobs that will supply you with the stability and the money that can fund your creative passion. And that's why I think it's totally possible to still work corporate and try to pursue a side hustle or any sort of job.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of the biggest DJs and artists in my genre were working part-time jobs while touring. And, like, even John Summit, like he was working a corporate job. Got his CPA and look at him now. Like anything is truly possible if you set your mind to it. But it's not strange if you're feeling like you're drowned out by work and by all these responsibilities. I think it's just a part of the process. And once again, remembering your why and letting that fuel you to get through the 2 a.m. nights, the early wake up calls to go to the gym, whatever it may be, just focusing on like, okay, this is why I'm doing it. I'm going to attack today and we're going to make it through.
Yeah. That period of time in which like you need the side hustle, you need the corporate job or whatever, I don't think people realize how long that runway is. Like that is a long road. And ultimately the people who can hang on, and like you said, I made rent, I paid for my food, and I'm doing this another month and I'm going deeper in my craft and I'm still building my brand. Like the people who can do that month after month after year after year after year, the people who quit and the people who let that kind of be the thing that stops them, that security, that's what weeds people out of the industry. Like
totally.
Yeah. Do you have anything to add to that?
I agree with the point you made that people think it's an overnight success. A lot of these, especially with DJs, like they'll see a DJ have a breakthrough single, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, where did this guy come from? He's an overnight success. And it's like, no. He's been working his ass off for years and years and years. You just haven't seen it.
That's such a myth. That entire term.
Oh, it's such a myth. And another thing I want to do with my vlogs is show people like from square one what it looked like playing smaller shows, what it looked like, you know, releasing music at such a small scale, because I wish the John Summits of the world would have done that to give you a reminder, like, oh wow, like John Summit was doing the same things I'm doing except 10 years ago, and look where he is now. And so I just want to like remind people that like you said, overnight success is not a real thing. And it just takes years and years of getting kicked to the curb, getting back up. A quote that I try to follow is from John Bellion. I love John Bellion, but he talks about your rejection threshold and how successful you will be is determined by the amount of rejection you can handle. And I think that's especially true in music, because yes, music is subjective, but learning how to make music is really difficult. And the more you're able to take that critical feedback, have someone say, dude, this song sucks, and move on to the next one with an open mind, being like, okay, we're moving forward, is so important. Rejection threshold is important in all facets of life, but I've definitely found it to be extremely important in this regard.
Yeah, and just being a continuous student.
Right, always.
And your vlogs and like your story and like you folding towels, I'm bought in. I'm instantly like, I want to support this guy, you know, like, and your willingness to be authentic and show that to the world, it's not an easy thing to do.
No.
Like getting in front of a camera, talking to a vlog, like showing all this stuff, putting the time into the edit. It is so many hours of your life and so much internal like conflict and like back and forth and anxiety. And it's like the people who can put that out into the world. I don't think, like, when I used to consume something like a vlog or whatever, it would have been like, I wouldn't have even considered what was going through their head or like where their head's at. But now, being on the other side of trying to produce things and whatever, it's like, holy shit, I respect the fuck out of the people who are doing what you're trying to do.
Oh, totally. The respect I've had for other creatives, especially musicians and artists who have like quote unquote made it, even artists that are just putting out music and like trying to do something creative. You finally realize, like, wow, like we're in the same pursuit of the same thing. You're doing it a different way, but I have so much respect that you're putting yourself out there in that sense, because I know what it feels like to not, and to want to, and like just like want to have the urge, but you just don't do it. And so the people that have gotten over that hump, one, don't realize it's that scary, and two, realize that there's a whole community of other people that are also there that are like, hey, welcome to the other side of things, you know? Yeah.
I just think this kind of conversation and like putting this out in front of people who are like questioning all of this, it's so important. I mean, this has been a really fulfilling like direction that this conversation has gone. But now I want to figure out, what is your hot take in the creative world and this industry and where everything is headed?
My hot take. I have a lot of hot takes.
I love it.
But I think the biggest one for me is AI with music and creativity. It's just like, it makes me sick, especially seeing work that could be done by other creatives that people fall back to AI to use. It's like, I've seen a lot of flyers recently to promote your shows. Like, a flyer is a super important part of that marketing process. That's the first thing people are going to see. It has all the information you need for these parties. And to just like, it's just so obvious when people use AI for it. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, go find another creative that works in graphic design. You know, share your vision and your idea with them of how you want it to look. And, you know, by that, you're empowering them to show their creative skills too. And like, once again, it's that collaboration process we've been talking about. You're creating something that two creatives that have a similar vision are coming together and trying to make something cool. And it just sickens me when other DJs or party promoters in general, and it's like the blatant use of AI. I get it's efficient. There are certain parts that you can use AI that isn't completely changing, you know, the way your graphic looks or the creative design behind the process. Maybe you're just making it a little more efficient. But if you're going in ChatGPT and saying, hey, can you make me an event flyer for this? This is what I want it to look like. I'm just like,
no, it's not cool.
Doing?
You can
like,
see it.
It's so obvious. And it's just like, it's a terrible look. Like it makes me disrespect you less. Makes me respect you less because you're trying to take a shortcut. And you're not using one of the arms of the creative process to show your brand off. Like, that is your image of your brand, and you're choosing to use AI slop to like, it's so gross, cut around a corner or be more efficient.
And you're dampening that part of your brain and that skill. Like, that is a skill. That part. And collaborating with another artist and communicating your vision to someone else. Oh my gosh, the reps. I've realized like a couple years have gone by, and my ability to like communicate something to a designer or whatever. It's like, it comes in so many formats and like formats of communication and whatever, but to shortcut that,
you're just cheating yourself.
You're cheating. Exactly.
Doing. And there are some instances where you could take on the load yourself. You could learn a new skill. You can learn how to edit. Like, I edit all my YouTube videos. I didn't know how to edit a year ago. I
Yeah.
could throw it all in AI and have it do it for me. But I think the art of storytelling behind editing can only be done through human form. And that just goes for music, for your flyers, for everything in your brand. You have a vision that you can tap into, and yes, it's going to push you. Yes, it's going to be harder. Yes, you're probably going to have to spend money on it. But at the end of the day, you're staying true to yourself. You're tapping into that side that's going to push you, and I think other people resonate with that, and they're not going to resonate with some crap AI flyer that it sickens
sucks.
me. Yeah.
And the intuition that you're building, like now that you've edited some videos, when you're up on a stage or whatever, you can provide that direction to a videographer or whatever.
Totally.
Like, listen, I just have this shot idea, because like, unless you were in that editing chair, you never would have understood that aspect, that technicality of it. But now that you just, the people who are at the top of the game, the best storytellers are the best brands and the best pushers, and all of these people that you look up to and the things that go so far and so wide, they have the human behind it. They truly do. It's a human decision, human judgment, human instinct, and everything behind it, and especially the soul and the heart. And as soon as you give that away to some database code, whatever,
you failed yourself.
You failed yourself, and people feel it. Even if they can't name it, they feel it.
Well, and that's especially with music. Like you can feel deep emotion with certain music and different pieces, and like we've said, you're just failing yourself when you're using an AI to, create whole songs for you. Like I'm getting ads for music production AI companies that they're just like, we can make a whole song for you, the vocals, the melodies, everything. And by taking that short step, you're not learning how to craft a song from literally zero, and it's not going to serve you in the long run.
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. It's the instant gratification you'll get from cutting the corner that is eventually going to be your demise at the end.
Yeah.
So
yeah, totally.
You know who you are out there.
Yeah, I mean,
find other creatives.
Wake up.
Yeah,
it's just not gonna be sustainable. Yeah, like there's systems. Like I just filmed a podcast episode with Devin Erickson. Like we're talking about systems behind an agency and like how to do this maybe more efficiently. But still, there's always like, even he agrees, it's just like you have to have the human decision within that. And so, and
I totally agree that there are time and places for AI. I'm not completely against AI.
Exactly.
My biggest thing is just, if you have a creative that you could connect with and reach out to and create this project that you're choosing to use AI for, I lose respect for you.
Yeah,
that's it.
100%. Yeah, that's it. And you're not the only one who's lost respect. There's tons of other people out there, whether they decided that explicitly or not.
And they're probably tuned into creativity as well, and their own, just tuned into themselves more and what they want to achieve, because we're not trying to cut corners here. We're trying to keep it true and authentic, and that's what I found to be the most resonating with other people as well. So,
is there anything else that comes to mind, like thinking about where you used to be and like being that voice in someone's ear, that do you think is really important that they should hear, that could give them comfort or a deeper understanding about this pursuit?
I just think the importance of committing to something sooner than later, because you're going to look back on this time, let's say like 10 years down the line. I'm 35 and I look back at this time as a 25-year-old. I'm going to cherish just the fact that, I'm 25 and I'm young and I'm pursuing my passion. I'm not going to worry about all these little things like, crap, I didn't post at 6:05 p.m. I didn't post when it was ideal. I didn't, all these little things. You're just going to look back on the fact that you're doing what you love. And, if I'm 35 and I'm looking back at myself and I'm folding towels at Lifetime, what I'm doing now, I just know that at least I was happy and at least I gave it a go, and I'm putting it all on the line to try to achieve what I want. And I'm doing it at this age because, unfortunately, the harsh reality of life is you're going to get older, you're going to have more responsibilities. And also, the sooner you make the decision, the more you get to enjoy it. Like, you just get more life to enjoy. You get more time to foster it, which is a cool thing. And it's just like, it's almost harder to make the decision when you're younger because you have so many peers around you that are
Oh my
making
gosh.
different decisions.
Yeah.
There's never going to be like a time where it makes sense. And
Yeah.
that's another thing to realize.
Simply.
It's like, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something going on.
Yeah.
You're always going to have a commitment, you know, to other people or to something else.
Yeah.
And to be able to understand that and just say, I'm going to do it anyways. Because now there's this quote, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is now.
Yeah.
And I had that written up on my wall in my college room. And I was like, yeah, we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're doing this now because, and I made that decision and haven't looked back, honestly.
Yeah. Has there been other like resources, books, podcasts, whatever that has been able to guide you throughout all this?
We were talking about The Alchemist.
Yeah.
That book is absolutely incredible. I'm a huge podcast guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I just have always wanted to embody being an entrepreneur, and I love Chris Williams.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He's fantastic, and his podcast. There's just so much. There's so many resources out there nowadays for you to tap into. It's just whether you want to take the time to look into it. And I think it's so important for any creative that is focusing on art to also see the business side of it and see the entrepreneurial side of it, because you could have this beautiful thing you're making, but if you don't know how to market it, if you don't know how to sell it, if you don't know how to scale it, you know, you're missing out on one, not only like growing your brand, but the impact you're going to have on the greater world. And that for me is such a big thing. Like, I want to impact a lot of people. I want to look back in my life and be like, look at all the people you touched by what you were doing. And the unfortunate reality of that is you have to tap into the business side of it and learn how to scale, to grow, and to reach more people, which, you know, going through business school, I never realized I draw back on as much as I do, but I'm grateful for that opportunity and that I have learned those skills that I can translate into my entrepreneurial endeavors of being an artist.
Wow, that's so epic. Honestly. So beautiful. Such an important conversation.
Yes.
What does it mean to you to be on a podcast right now?
Like I said, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and everything that I've learned, whether it be in my subconscious or in my forefront, probably came from listening to podcasts, listening to other professionals talk about their lives. And I've just found so much value in listening to podcasts. So for me, even if I could just provide a sliver of value to someone else, I know what it's like and I know the impact it's made on my life. So I just hope that I can carry that on to someone else, and inspire them, help them make a decision, help them see that they're not alone, and just understand that, you know, I'm there and I'm trying to do the thing.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes.
It's a really beautiful thing.
Yes.
It's really been such an honor and a pleasure to speak with you on all of this and go dive deep, because I just love conversations like this.
Likewise.
Like, it's just like, it's a conversation you'd have with a stranger sitting under a moon, or like in the most random places.
In Music City, is it Music City in Chicago?
Yeah, we're in this Music City in Chicago. This is just, this little podcast tour we're doing it's so enlightening to
Yeah, shout out you for doing that, and because, well, I guess you'll see it in the vlog, behind the scenes, but like road tripping across the U.S. to talk to other creatives is a risk in itself, and the fact that you're doing it with a positive mindset and just trying to grow and meet new people and spread their message is very cool to see on the outside. So I respect you a lot for that.
There's so much good that comes out of this.
Totally.
So much, and it's so worth it. It is a risk. And fuck the gas prices right now. We're up like, what was it, Lindsay? Was it like $4.85?
Yikes.
Oh my gosh. But it's all good. And the equipment, it fails, and setting all this up, it takes a lot of work, a lot of patience. The batteries have died like 3 or 4 times. This camera overheated, like all these things. But it's like, we sit here and you get it. And it's like, I'm not worried about Eddie sitting here judging me for the unprofessionalism of that battery dying. It's oh my gosh.
Like I said, I've been on 2 podcasts before this, and both of them have utterly failed. But I'm like, I want to keep doing these because I believe in the message, and I want to put myself out there in this regard to show other people, you know, what I'm genuinely like, and to just, you know, spread your message. Like, combining together, we think alike on a lot of things, which is very cool and refreshing for the both of us. But it's all about the greater impact beyond what this conversation is going to happen. So
wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Well, where can the people find you? How can they support you?
Eddie Adams Music on YouTube, Instagram, Eddie Adams on Spotify, Eddie Adams on SoundCloud, Bandcamp, all streaming platforms. I have a big show at Crave Rooftop in Minneapolis on July 18th with Sim Shows. That'll be my first headline show with them, which is cool because they were the ones who first booked me for support shows, like playing for literally no one on the dance floor to headlining my own show will be really cool. And then another show in Chicago on August 8th. That'll be a Eddie Adams event with another promoter. And just a lot of events in Chicago and Minneapolis. I'm back and forth. And so a lot of cool things with that. And then just new music, new collaborations, and a whole lot of authenticity, hopefully.
Heck yeah.
More vlogs, more silly videos.
Yeah, well, make sure to subscribe to the vlogs, follow him on Instagram, and follow his music. Listen, support any way you can. That would be amazing. And also send this episode to a friend if you found this useful, if you found this enlightening in any way, if it provided you comfort, support. There is someone else out there that needs that too. Be the person that passes that forward.
Totally. And man, I feel like I've sent a lot of podcasts to friends and brothers, and it comes out of a place of love and just wanting, your people to be better. So doing that for others and just sharing a message that you thought was impactful is such a good way to show that you're a real friend.
That's so true.
It's
you're right.
You want them to be a better person. Share the podcast.
It's such a good way to just be a touch point with someone.
Totally.
I thought of you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I thought you could find this useful. Don't take that in a negative way. Be like,
no. Wow. It's just they're thinking of me.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. And I think we think it all the time, but don't actually take action.
Yeah.
Something I want to get better at. All the compliments that come into my brain, and I don't put them out there into the world. Why am I not doing that?
Could change someone's life. Yeah,
you really can. Yeah. But with that, this one is for the kids like us. Thanks for being here.
Bang.
Bye.
Thank you.